Good morning, everyone. Today, we will be discussing partnerships, basic considerations, and formation. So, next slide po. Before we define contract of partnership, let us define first what is a contract and partnership. A contract is a meeting of minds between two persons whereby one binds himself with respect to the other to give something or to render some service. Isa ang contract sa mga reason kung saan nag-arise ang obligation. So, yung sa contract, itong definition na ito is uh, ma mapag-aaralan niyo din siya pagdating niyo sa law niyo kapag mga first year ng second sem or second year. So, partnership provides a means of obtaining more equity capital than a single individual can obtain and allow the sharing of risks for rapidly growing business. There is a contract of partnership when two or more persons bind themselves to contribute money, property, or industry to a common fund with the intention of dividing the profit among themselves. Two or more persons may also form a partnership for the exercise of a profession, based on the Civil Code of the Philippines, Article 1767. So, next slide na po. Partnerships, kaya nga nang sabi ko kanina, provide a means of obtaining more equity capital than a single individual can obtain and allow the sharing of risk for rapidly growing business. So, yan yung definition ng partnership. And sa isang partnership naman, each owner is called partner. So, sa isang partnership, yung bawat owner, ang tawag sa kanila is partner. A profession is an occupation that involves a higher education or its equivalent and mental rather than manual labor. Partnerships are generally associated with the practice of law, public accounting, medicine, and other professions. Partnerships of this nature are called general professional partnership. So next slide po. So for the characteristics of a partnership, meron tayong 8. So the first one is the mutual contribution. Wait lang. Sa mutual contribution, sa kahit anong business, lalo na sa isang partnership, kailangan may i-contribute kang pera, property, or industry. Dahil paano mag-ooperate ang isang partnership kung walang money or property or industry sa isang business. So yung mutual contribution is napaka-importante sa isang partnership. Dahil gaya nga ng sabi ko kanina, hindi mag-run ang isang business kung walang ininvest na money, property, or industry. So, let's move on sa division of profits naman tayo. Wait lang. So, when we say division of profits or losses, it is the essence of partnership that each partner must share in the profits or losses of the venture. So, since sabi ko nga kanina, may contribution ang bawat partner, syempre, dapat hati-hati rin sila dun sa profits na ma-earn ng partnership. And then, syempre, hindi lang sa profits, kundi pati rin na sa losses. Hindi naman pwedeng yung isang partner lang yung makakatanggap ng profit o magbe-bear ng loss. When it comes to the division of profits and losses, depende kung ilan yung napag-usapan na hatian, depende dun sa agreement. So for the co-ownership of contributed assets, all assets contributed into the partnership are owned by the partnership by virtue of its separate and distinct juridical personality. If one partner contributes an asset to the business, all partners jointly own it in a special sense. So dito, kung ano man yung kinontribute ng partner sa business, ay automatically pagmamay-ari na yun ng partnership. Walang right yung isang partner na angkinin yung kinontribute ng isang partner. Dahil yung kinontribute ng isang partner is pagmamay-ari na ng partnership. So for the mutual agency, any partner can bind the other partners to a contract if he or she is acting within his express or implied authority. So kung ano man yung contract or agreement na pinasok ng isang partner or kahit sinong partner, ay automatically responsible na ang partnership at lahat ng partners. So number 5, limited life. A partnership has a limited life. It may be dissolved with the admission, death, insolvency, incapacity, withdrawal of a partner, or expiration of the term specified in the partnership agreement. So yun yung limited life. And when it comes to the unlimited liability naman, all partners except yung limited partners na kung saan tatakal natin mamaya, including industrial partners, are personally liable for all debts incurred by the partnership. If the partnership cannot settle its obligation, creditors' claims will be satisfied from the personal assets of the partners without prejudice to the rights of the separate creditors of the partner. So dito, for example, kaming mga atet kuya nyo is nasa isang partnership. Then, hindi kayang bayaran ng partnership namin yung utang. Yung creditor ay may right na habulin ang lahat ng partners at gamiting pambayad ang kanilang personal assets. Malipad dun sa limited partner. Kung sino man yung limited partner sa amin. Hindi siya pwedeng habulin when it comes to the personal asset niya. So for the income taxes, partnerships except general professional partnerships are subject to the tax at the rate of 30% of taxable income. So yan, matitake nyo din yan sa income taxation nyo. So, partners' equity accounts. Accounting for partnerships are much like accounting for sole proprietorship. The only difference lies in the number of partners' equity accounts. Each partner has a capital account and a withdrawal account that serve similar functions as the related accounts for sole proprietorship. So, yan yung 8 characteristics of a partnership. So, next slide na po. Advantages and disadvantages of partnership. So, the first one is advantages versus yung proprietorship. So, siguro naman, may idea na tayo kung ano yung proprietorship or yung tinatawag na sole proprietorship. So, yung sole proprietorship, isa lang yung owner. Mag-isa mo lang. So, the first advantage is it brings greater financial capability to the business. Since may mutual contribution ang bawat partner, syempre mas capable ang partnership na mag-operate ng business. Kasi nga, gaya ng sabi ko kanina sa mutual contribution, bawat partner may ika-contribute siya. It may be money, property, or industry. And when it comes to payment naman ng debts, mas malaki yung chance na mabayaran since may partners na involved, hindi gaya sa proprietorship na solo mo lang. Lahat ng investment hanggang sa profits and losses. So number 2, combines special skills, expertise, and experience of the partners. Dahil may partners na involved, syempre iba-iba yung expertise, skills, and experience nila. Na kung saan pwede nilang i-share or i-contribute kung saan makakatulong sa business. Pwedeng yung isa expert sa ganitong field, unlike sa proprietor na mag-isa mo lang. So, i-bear mo lahat ng mga kailangan mong gawin. So, number 3, offers relative freedom and flexibility of action in decision making. Bawat partner, may right siyang mag-make ng decision. So, gaya nga nung sinabi ko kanina dun sa mutual agency, kapag ang isang partner pumasok sa isang contract, automatically, lahat ng partner and yung partnership mismo is liable na dun sa magiging consequence ng nangyaring partnership. So, for the disadvantages, it is easily dissolved and thus unstable compared to a corporation. So, kung gaano siya kadaling ma-form yung or organize, ganun din siya kadaling ma-dissolve. Diba? Yung partnership, syempre may iba't ibang partners na magka-contribute. Pero, sa corporation, syempre mas madami yung person involved. So, unstable siya compared sa corporation. So, mutual agency and unlimited liability may create personal obligations to partners. And 3, less effective than a corporation in raising large amounts of capital. So, like what I've said earlier, na nagiging less effective siya kaysa sa corporation dahil na yung persons na involved sa partnership is mas konti kaysa sa corporation. Sa corporation kasi, mas marami yung investment na ilalagay dun sa business. So, that's it na. Next, presenter na.
And so, partnership distinguished from corporation are yung differences ng partnership from corporation. First is manner of creation. A partnership is created by mere agreement of the partners, while a corporation is created by operation of law. So sa partnership, yung involved na parties doon is they simply agreed na mag-form ng partnership or parang may oral agreement lang and it will suffice na to create a partnership. And then sa corporation naman, it is created by operation of law. Hindi gaya ng partnership na pwede silang mag-form by mere agreement, since corporation requires special authority or grant from the state. And sa number of persons, sa partnership, at least 2 or more persons may form a partnership, and in a corporation, at least 5 persons, but not exceeding 15. Then commencement of juridical personality. In a partnership, juridical personality commences from the execution of the articles of partnership, and in a corporation, from the issuance of certificate of incorporation by the Securities and Exchange Commission. A partnership, after ng fulfillment or implementation ng articles of partnership ang commencement. Kasi sa articles of partnership na yan, andun na lahat ng partnership agreement or yung mga essential provisions. And sa corporation naman, may pa kasi siyang steps na kailangan sundan for incorporation, and ang final step dun is yung issuance of certificate of incorporation by the Securities and Exchange Commission, which is dun din yung mismong date ng commencement. And then sa management, in a partnership, every partner is an agent of the partnership if the partners did not appoint a managing partner. And in a corporation, management is vested on the board of directors. Sa partnership, kung naalala niyo yung characteristic niya, isa dun is yung mutual agency na any partner can bind the other partners to a contract if he is acting within his express or implied authority. Kaya that makes all partners can act as an agent of the partnership in case na walang assigned managing partner. And sa corporation naman, it acts through its board of directors. The next is the extent of liability. In a partnership, each of the partners, except a limited partner, is liable to the extent of his personal assets. In a corporation, stockholders are liable only to the extent of their interest or investment in the corporation. The partnership, diba? Another characteristic is the unlimited liability, in which yung liability ng partnership extends sa personal property ng partners in case na hindi masatisfy ng partnership yung debt nila. Pero hindi kasama dun yung sa limited partners. And sa corporation naman, they only have limited liability. Kaya in case na may obligation ng isang corporation, hindi liable ang stockholders dun at mas lalong hindi magagamit ang personal property nila to satisfy such obligation. And the right of succession. In a partnership, there is no right of succession. In a corporation, there is right of succession. A corporation has the capacity of continued existence regardless of the death, withdrawal, insolvency, or incapacity of its directors or stockholders. For a partnership, if ever may mangyaring cause ng dissolution ng partnership, gaya ng death or withdrawal ng isang partner, syempre it already ceases the partnership, wala ng succession. Para sa corporation naman, sabihin natin, hindi dependent ang corporation sa life ng members niya. Kaya kahit may withdrawal or death ng partner or resignation, hindi agad-agad na dissolve ang corporation. Then, last distinguishment is the terms of existence. In a partnership, for any period of time stipulated by the partners. And then sa corporation naman, not to exceed 50 years but subject to extension. So sa partnership, pwede siyang mag-form for an indefinite period of time. And sa corporation naman, meron silang legal life na 50 years lang, pero subject naman siya sa extension. Then, next slide. Classifications of partnership. First is yung according to object. Meron tayong universal partnerships of all present property. All contributions become part of the partnership fund. Or kapag yung properties ng bawat partners at the time of formation ng partnership becomes the partnership fund or common property ng partners. Yun yung object nila, with the intention of dividing the same among themselves as well as yung profits na ma-acquire nila. And then second is the universal partnership of profits. All that the partners may acquire by their industry or work during the existence of the partnership and the use of whatever the partners contributed at the time of the institution of the contract belong to the partnership. If the articles of universal partnership did not specify its nature, it will consider a universal partnership of profits. So dito naman ang object nila is yung profit, the profit from their work or industry or yung service nila during ng existence ng partnership. And yung paggamit lang ng kung ano kinontribute nila at the time of the institution ng contract. And then last is yung particular partnership or yung may defined specific purpose or yung sa use or fruit specific undertaking or the exercise of a profession or vocation. And then according to liability, we have the general. Sa general, or all partners are liable to the extent of their separate properties. Pag sinabi mong general is, yun yung may liabilities or obligation na hindi limited or nakabase lang sa capital contribution nila. Ito sa extent sa personal or separate property. Then sa limited, hindi gaya ng sa general, ang limited partners ay limited din yung liability nila, or yun nga, only to the extent ng personal contributions nila. And according to duration, partnership with a fixed term, or yung duration niya, ano siya, yung duration niya or kung ilang years is fixed by the partners. So, for example, ang sinabi is 5 years. 5 years lang kasi upon the arrival ng term na yun, pwede lang ma-dissolve yung partnership. And then, partnership at will. Yan yung partnership na walang fixed term or any particular undertaking. O kaya kung meron man, pwedeng mag-decide yung partner kung i-continue pa nila yung business. Then next slide. According to purpose. First is yung commercial or trading partnership, which is formed for the transaction of business. And then second is the professional or non-trading partnership, or yung form for the exercise or practice of profession. Then last is the according to legality of existence, the jury partnership, or yung complied to and created by law with all the legal requirements for its as. And then de facto, unlike sa de jure, it has failed to comply with all the legal requirements. Next slide. As a kind of partners, number one is the general partner. One who is liable to the extent of his separate property after all the assets of the partnership are exhausted. Gaya din ng sabi kanina, general partner, sila yung kapag may obligation of partnership, pwedeng yung personal properties nila ang pang-settle doon. Then second naman is the limited partner. One who is liable only to the extent of his capital contribution. Or yung pang-settle sa liability nila is limited din sa contribution nila. And then third is the capitalist partner. One who contributes money or property to the common fund of the partnership. And then industrial partner, one who contributes his knowledge or personal service to the partnership, or yung expertise nila yung contribution nila. And then managing partner, one whom the partners has appointed as manager of the partnership. Yun yung partner na actively manages yung daily affairs ng partnership. And then the liquidating partner, one who is designated to wind up or settle the affairs of the partnership after the dissolution. Sila yung responsible sa distribution ng assets, pag-settle ng debts after ng dissolution. And then the dormant partner, one who does not take active part in the business of the partnership and is not known as a partner. So, partner pa rin naman siya, pero wala siyang active participation sa business and hindi rin siya kilala sa public as a partner. Parang walang kwenta ganun. Char. Silent partner, one who does not take active part in the business of the partnership, though may be known as a partner. Or kung meron na siyang participation, limited lang yung kaya niyang gawin na activity and kilala naman siya sa public as a partner, unlike the dormant. And then number 9 is the secret partner, one who takes active part in the business but is not known to be a partner by outside parties. Or nagpa-participate naman siya sa partnership activities pero hindi lang siya kilala sa public as a partner. And then last is the nominal partner or partner by estoppel, one who is actually not a partner but who represents himself as one. So sa nominal, wala siyang active participation since hindi siya actual na partner but is publicly considered as one. Kasi nga nire-represent niya lang naman yung sarili niya as a partner. So, yun lang. Next presenter na.
Next is the accounting for partnership. The accounting in partnership is essentially the same as is used for sole proprietorship. Ang pinagkaiba lang is mas madaming owners sa partnership. So merong separate accounts bawat partners para matrack yung investment, distribution, and share of gains and losses nila. So next slide po. So makikita natin dito sa illustration yung magiging presentation ng bawat capital at drawing sa T accounts. So alam naman natin lahat na ang normal balance ng capital and additional investments is credit balance, and sa permanent drawings naman ay debit balance. So partnership and partners are considered separate from each other. When partners withdraw money from the business for personal use, then the term used for such withdrawal of money is known as drawings. Typically, partners do not wait until the end of the year to determine how much of the profits they wish to withdraw from partnership. So para ma-meet ng partners yung mga personal expenses nila, they customarily withdraw money on a periodic basis throughout the year. So a partner's drawings is debited to reflect assets temporarily withdrawn by him from the partnership. At kapag end of the period na, kino-close natin ang balance of drawing sa capital accounts. So next slide. Permanent withdrawals, ito yung mga drawings na direct or permanently na dinidecrease natin sa partner's capital. While yung temporary drawings, ito yung regular advances ng partners sa share profits nila. So ang purpose ng pagkakaroon ng drawing accounts for temporary withdrawals is para ma-record natin ang mga drawings ng bawat partners in every accounting period. And para ma-control din yung pagkakaroon ng drawings excess dun sa allowed amounts lang ng drawings na nasa partnerships agreement. So notice that the profit or loss are debited or credited either to the drawing account or to the capital account. So yung choice of account to credit or debit account is nakadepende sa intention ng partner. Kung gusto nila ma-maintain yung capital accounts nila for investment and permanent withdrawals, then yung profit or loss should be entered in the drawing account. Kapag ang purpose naman ng partner is to make profit or loss to be part of their capital, then the capital accounts should be used. In either case, the resulting partners' ending capital balances will be the same. So next slide. Next next ulit. Sa receivables from. So next is receivables from or to payable to partners. Partnership firm business as owned and managed by partners, and yes, partnership can give loan to its partners. As owners, you get to decide what money you put into or take out of the business. There's nothing that prevents you from loaning the partnership money if they or one of the partners encounters financial difficulties. However, to ensure that the influx of money is properly classified in the partnership accounting system. So if yung partner is nag-withdraw siya ng money with the intention of repaying it, i-record natin to sa debit account as loan receivables partner. And then account should classify separately sa other receivables ng partnership. Kapag naman nag-lend siya ng amount of money sa partnership from excess of investment, i-credit naman to as loan payable partner and separate from liabilities to outsiders. Importante ito in the case of liquidation para di magkahalo-halo. Loans payables to partners must be paid after the claims of outside creditors have been paid in full because these loans have priority over partners' equity. So yun, next snap.
Ngayon, dito naman tayo sa partnership formation. Next slide. Valuation of investment by partners. The books of the partnership are open with entries reflecting the net contribution of the partners to the firm. Asset accounts are debited for asset contributed to the partnership. Liability accounts are credited for any liabilities assumed by the partnership, and Separate capital accounts are credited for the amount of each partner's net investment. Partners may invest cash or non-cash in the partnership. When partner invests non-cash asset, they are to be recorded at values agreed upon by the partners. In the absence of any agreement, the contribution will be recognized at their fair market values at the date of transfer. Dito sa valuation of investment by partners, lahat ng contribution na asset, pag mag-i-entry, i-debit. At pag layad, i-credit. And yung capital, pero hindi siya isahan, separate siya. And pag non-cash asset ang contribution, halimbawa yung building equipment, unang basehan ng valuation nun is kung anong mapag-agreean ng partners. Pero kung wala, fair value agad ang kukunin. Basta sa valuation, pag non-cash asset, fair value na yan unless may sinabi na may agreement ang partners. Next slide po. Adjustment of accounts prior to formation. In cases when the prospective partners have existing businesses, their respective books will have to be adjusted to reflect the fair market values of their asset or to correct misstatement in the account. If the adjustment will not be made, the initial capital balances of the partners may be inequitable. So dito sa adjustment, para maiwasan yung overstatement or understatement ng investment dyan. So next po. Sa illustration naman tayo. Emerita Iron and Emerita Modesto form a general professional partnership. Emerita Iron will invest sufficient cash to get an equal interest in the partnership, while Emerita Modesto will transfer the asset and liabilities of her business. The account balances on the books of Modesto prior to partnership formations follows. So, ito daw yung sa books ni Emerita Modesto nung siya ay mag-isa pa lang na nagninegosyo. So, meron siyang cash na 180,000 and meron siyang account receivable na 300,000, office equipment na 1,500,000 at meron din siyang tinatawag na accumulated depreciation which is a contra asset account ng office equipment. Ang normal balance nito ay credit. Ibig sabihin, ang office equipment na yun naluluma kasi kaya bumababa ang value katagalan. Yun yung accumulated depreciation, and then yung kanyang liabilities in the form of account payable in the amount of 155,000 at salaries payable na 25,000. And then meron isang, syempre sole proprietorship ito, meron isang capital account which is Emerita Modesto capital in the amount of 1,200,000. So, kukumputin nyo yung debit side at credit side ay pareho yan na 1,980,000. Yan yung balance ng debit at credit. Next po. It is agreed that for purposes of establishing Emerita Iron interest, the following adjustments shall be made in the books of Emerita Modesto. So, para malaman natin kung magkano yung particular amount ng i-invest ni Emerita Iron, so magkakaroon ng adjustment dun sa books of the business ni Emerita Modesto at ito yung mga yon. Number 1, an allowance for uncollectible accounts of 5% of accounts. So, para malaman natin kung magkano yung particular amount ng i-invest ni Emerita Iron, so magkakaroon ng adjustment doon sa books of the business ni Emerita Modesto at ito yung mga yon. Number 1, an allowance for uncollectible accounts of 5% of accounts receivable is to be established. Number 2, prepaid expenses amounting to 30,000 were omitted by the accounts. This is to be recognized. Number 3, additional salaries payable in the amount of 10,000 is to be established, field to record. Using the accounting equation approach of analysis, The adjustment are follows. So, magkakaroon tayo dito ng adjustment. Pa-reveal na po yung the number 1 agreement, the number 2 agreement, and the number 3 agreement. So, meron tayong negative 15,000 plus 30,000. Tapos yung number 3, dahil correction of errors, so wala naman talagang pagbabago. You have to increase the liabilities and you have to decrease the owner's equity. So, magkakaroon ka ng plus 15,000 pesos. And next slide. Dito naman tayo sa entries. Magkakaroon tayo ng entries dun sa adjustment na ginawa natin. Number 1, Emerita Modesto Capital Debit 15,000 and credit allowance for uncollectible accounts na 15,000. So, bakit naka-debit yung Emerita Modesto Capital? Di ba ang normal balance niyan credit? Pero doon sa owner's equity, yung owner's equity doon, yung nagdeduct tayo ng 15,000 kaya dinebit natin siya. And number 2, prepaid expense debit 30,000 and credit Emerita Modesto Capital na 30,000. And number 3, Emerita Modesto Capital 10,000 debit and credit salaries payable na 10,000. So next slide na po. Opening entries of partnership upon formation. A partnership may be formed in any of the following ways. Number 1, individuals with no existing business form a partnership. Number 2, conversion of a sole proprietorship to a partnership. So there are 2 steps. The first one is a sole proprietor and an individual without an existing business form a partnership. And the second one is 2 or more sole proprietors form a partnership. And number 3, admission or retirement of a partnership or of a partner. Dito, pagkatapos ng admission, pagkatapos ng retirement, magpapatuloy yung partnership but with the different name o kaya with the different partnership. But with the different and yung characteristic kasi technically partnership na yun. Yun yung tinatawag nating winding up, pagpapatuloy ng operation ng isang partnership upon admission or retirement of a partner. And next slide po. Individuals with no existing business form partnership. The opening entry to recognize the contribution of each partner into the partnership is simply to debit the asset contributed and to credit the liabilities assumed in the capital account of each partner. So, ang ibig sabihin niyan, yung dalawang tao na wala naman silang business prior doon sa pagsisimulan ng partnership, they will form a partnership. They will form a partnership po. And so, simple lang daw ang opening entry nito para makilala yung contribution ng bawat partner, i-debit yung kanilang kinontribute na mga asset. And then yung mga asset na yun or yung isang asset doon, meron siyang tinatawag na liabilities, obligation in the form of mortgage. Kung meron pa siyang kailangan bayaran para ma-fully paid yung asset na yun. So yung liability na yun, i-assume ng partnership, it will be credited and then the capital account of each partner. So next slide po. Illustration number 2. On July 1, 2018, Nilo Burgos and Ray Fernan Recusar agreed to form a partnership. The partnership agreement specified that Burgos is to invest cash of 700,000 and Refusar is to contribute land with a fair market value of 1,300,000 with 300,000 mortgage to be assumed by the partnership. The entries are as follows. So dito daw si Milo Burgos and Ray Fernand Reposar, magbubuo sila ng partnership. So si Mr. Burgos daw ay magko-contribute ng cash na 700,000 and si Refusar ay magko-contribute ng lupa with a fair market value of 1,300,000. Pero meron pa siyang mortgage. Meron pa itong liability na 300,000 to be assumed by the partnership. So ganito ang magiging entry niyan. The entries are follows. Cash 700,000 and land now 1,300,000 na debit and credit na mortgage payable na 300,000 and Milo Burgos capital na 700,000 and Ray Fernand Reposar capital na 1 million to record the initial investment of Burgos and Reposar. Next slide po. After the formation, the statement of financial position of the partnership is after yan po yung so ganito yung balance sheet nitong bagong partnership. So Burgos and Reposar statement of financial position July 1, 2018. So nandyan yung cash na 700,000 then yung land na 1,300,000. So total asset of 2 million. Then yung liabilities and owner's equity, mortgage payable for 300,000. Then Nelo Burgos capital na 700,000 and Ray Fernan Repusar capital na 1 million for a total of 2 million. And balance yung asset with liabilities and owner's equity. And next illustration po. So let's have another illustration. Suppose that Burgos and Reposar form another partnership with Nora Elizabeth Maniquez Burgos and Reposar considered Maniquez, who has a vast business network in Bicol, as an industrial partner. The partnership did not receive any asset from Maniquez. In this case, the memorandum entry in the general journal will be made. So itong si Burgos at Reposar, they will form another partnership with Maniquez. Pero si Maniquez hindi siya nag-contribute ng anumang assets. So ano ang gagawin dito? Sabi nga, in this case, only a memorandum entry in the general journal will be made na in-accept si Maniquez bilang partner. Sa partnership, only a memorandum entry or a memo entry. Yun po. Next na po.
Okay, so next will be a sole proprietor and another individual form a partnership. So sole proprietor, ibig sabihin meron ng business yan, di ba? Pero isa lang ang owner. Tapos, nag-form sila ng partnership ng isang individual. A sole proprietor may considered forming a partnership with an individual who has no existing business. So kayong individual na tinutukoy dito is wala pang business. Under this type of formation, the assets and liabilities of the proprietorship will be transferred to the newly formed partnership at values agreed upon by the partners. So kaya ang i-consider nyo dito, kapag may nag-perform ng partnership, tapos nagtatransfer na yung mga asset and liabilities nila, tignan nyo yung agreements nila kung saan i-value yung mga asset or liabilities na. So kaya yan, values agreed upon or at their current fair price. Kung naalala nyo yung kanina, kapag wala tayong agreement, ang mangyayari, ang gagamitin natin is yung fair value. So kaya punta tayo sa saglit, illustration. Stop share ko lang to. Yan, kikita ba? Yan pa natin. So yan, so dito sa illustration, the statement of, ito yung nasa libro nyo lang din Ewan ko kung same lang tayo ng mga laman sa libro. Pero pwede yung tingnan. Pwede yung tingnan doon. Pero huwag yung tingnan lang muna yung sagot. Kahit itong lang. Check nyo lang yung itong information na to. So kaya, statement of financial position of Leopoldo Medina. So kaya kay Leopoldo Medina, siya yung sole proprietor dyan. So, before accepting Giancarlo, ito naman si Giancarlo, siya yung individual. Yung wala pang business, si Giancarlo Dalangin. So, in-accept niya sa partner. And then, ito yung mga info niya. Tapos, dito sabi, Giancarlo Dalangin offered to invest cash to get a capital credit equal to 1/2. So, equal to 1/2 of Leopoldo Medina's capital. Yan, natin to, highlight natin. So kaya kung ilan yung magiging capital ni yung capital ni Leopoldo Medina, 1/2 lang nung 1/2 lang yung i-invest ni Giancarlo Dalangin. So kaya ito, after giving effect to the adjustments below. So kaya meron pa mga adjustments. Kaya hindi pa ito yung capital na sasabi niya. So, yan. Del Mundo accepted the offer. Yan, so dito tayo mauna. So kaya dito sa number 1, the merchandise is to be valued at 74,000. Magkano yung merchandise natin dito? Meron tayong 80,000 na merchandise inventory. So kaya dahil sabi dito, merchandise is to be valued at 74,000, mababawasan yung merchandise inventory natin dito. So kaya ilan yung nabawas dito? 6,000. So kaya yun lang yung adjustment na mangyayari dito. Bale, anong magiging entry natin dyan kapag nag-adjust tayo? Pero bago yun, basahin muna natin dito yung sa baba. Ayan. Ito sabi niya dito. The following procedures may be used in recording the formation of the partnership. So number 1, adjust the assets and liabilities of Leopoldo Medina in accordance with the agreement. Adjustments are to be made to his capital account. Ayun, so kaya ito na ang sinabi dito. Adjustments are to be made to his capital account. So hindi na yung mga temporary account ang gagamitin natin dito. Ano yung mga gagamitin natin dito? Yung capital account na ni Leopoldo Medina. Imbes na yung mga interest expense, imbes na interest income, imbes na salaries expense, hindi na yung mga yon. Hindi na daw yun ang gagamitin. Ang gagamitin natin dito is capital account na. So kaya dito, dahil i-value natin ng 74,000 yung merchandise inventory, mababawasan ito ng 6,000. So kaya ang entry dyan is Leopoldo Medina Capital, debit to Leopoldo, yan, Medina Capital, and then credit sa merchandise inventory kasi mababawasan ng 6,000, di ba? Lagyan natin dito. So magkano yun? 6,000. Then next naman, the accounts receivable is estimated to be 95% collectible. So kaya ito rin, i-adjust din natin to. Ayan, so tingnan natin kung magkano yung accounts receivable natin dito. So meron tayong 240,000. And then meron tayong allowance for uncollectible accounts. Pero sabi, 95% is collectible. So kaya meron tayong 5% na uncollectible. So kaya itong 240,000 na to, i-multiply nyo lang sa 5%. Kunin ko lang yung calculator pa. So 240,000 times 5% is equal to 12,000. So kaya dapat daw ang allowance for uncollectible accounts natin dapat daw maging 12,000. Pero ang naka-record lang dito is 10,000. So kaya ano mangyayari? Nadagdagan natin to ng 2,000 para maging 12,000 ito. Yan. So kaya meron tayong entry na saan ang ano dapat ang entry niya kapag hindi siya sa capital account. Ang dapat na entry niya is bad debt expense and then credit to allowance for uncollectible accounts, di ba? Pero dahil hindi tayo gagamit ng temporary account, gagamitin natin ng capital. So kaya ito lang entry natin. Debit to Leopoldo Medina, capital, and then credit to yung allowance for uncollectible accounts na magkano? 2,000. Lagay natin dito. Yan. Excuse me. Okay na tayo sa number 2. So, doon na tayo sa number 3 naman. So, interest accrued on the notes receivable will be recognized 10,000 pesos, 12% dated July 1, 2018, and 20,000 pesos, 12% dated August 1, 2018. So, wala tayo ditong interest na account dito sa financial position niya. So, kaya, magre-recognize tayo. So, kaya paano natin to i-compute? So, kaya sa notes receivable na daw yan, yung 10,000 pesos na amount is dated nung July pa tapos may 12% interest. So, kaya una natin yung compute. Pagka-compute natin yan, yan nyo lang, type na lang natin. So, 10,000 times 10,000 times 12% times ilan yung buwan na nakalipas. So, kaya mag-start tayo mag-count from July 1. So, kaya July, August, September. Kailan ang natin? So, kaya ito yung natin yung end of the year natin. Ito yung tawag dito. Year end natin. So, kaya October 1 hanggang October 1. So, kaya ang buwan na kailangan natin dito is from July to September 31. So, kaya ilan yun? July, August, September. So, kaya 3 months. 3 months over 12. Kaya ilan ang magiging sagot yan? Compute natin. 10 times 0.12 times 3 over 12. So, kaya meron tayong 300 pesos. Meron tayong 300 pesos na interest dito kay July. Lagyan natin July 1, 2018. So, dito naman. Yung isa naman kay August. August 1, 2018. So, ganoon din. Pares lang. Computation 20,000 times 12%. Pero August siya nag-umpisa. So, ilang buwan yan? August, September. So, kaya dalawa lang. 2 over 12. So, ilan na magiging sagot natin dyan? So, 20,000 times 0.12 times 2 over 12. So, meron tayong 400. So, yan yung i-recognize natin na interest receivable. So, yan yung i-recognize natin. Sana nakikinig pa kayo. Ayan. So, ipag-add lang natin to. Pag-add lang natin to para makuha kung ilan yung interest natin. So, kaya 300 plus 400 is equal to 700 na yan. Okay, so, anong entry natin? Para mag-recognize ng interest receivable, mag-debit tayo ng interest receivable. Kasi di ba ang interest receivable, asset siya. So mag-ano tayo yan. Tapos mag-credit tayo naman ng imbis na interest income, ang i-record na natin dito is Leopoldo Medina Capital. So ito lagi ang ginagamit natin daw kasi yun ang sabi dun sa information kanina. Yan. Kaya magkano? 700. And then, din dito 700. Okay, tignan natin kung nakikinig pa kayo. Ito naman. Sinong nandyan? Okay, Okay, si Wency. Pa-unmute na lang.
Kuya.
Ayun. So, interest on notes payable to be accrued at 14% annually from April 1 to 2018. Anong magiging ano ang computation natin diyan? Tingnan natin kung magkano yung notes payable. 40,000 ang notes payable.
40,000
Tapos okay, sige. 40,000
times 14% po.
okay, times
six months po, kuya.
6 months.
Divided by 12.
Okay, so ilan?
2.8 po.
2.8. Yan, so tama. O ano magiging entry natin dito?
Interest receivable. Ay, no.
Sige.
Wait lang. Interest notes payable. Interest receivable.
Sigurado ka? Ang interest natin nandito tayo sa notes payable. So kaya yung
Wait,
interest na accrued natin dito is payable din, hindi siya receivable.
Ano, kuya? Yung Leopoldo Medina Capital tapos interest payable.
Yun. So kaya debit nyo yung Leopoldo Medina Capital and then interest payable. Tama. Ito, copy natin yan. Then payable. Yan. So kaya bakit siya ngayon? Ganito, hindi siya baliktad siya dito. Siyempre kasi ang interest payable sa credit side. And then kung hindi to capital ang gagamitin, anong gagamitin natin dito kapag hindi yung capital account?
Interest receivable po.
Hindi siyempre interest expense. Yun ang partner ng payable. So kaya kasi ito, bakit siya capital ang ginagamit natin? Bakit hindi na expense? Kasi kung matatandaan nyo sa closing entry, di ba kapag nagko-close tayo ng expense account, kino-close natin sa income summary. Ganon din sa income account, kino-close natin sa income summary. And then yung income summary na yun, kapag mas mataas ang credit, o di ibig sabihin, meron tayong income. Ay, tama ba? Kasi di ba kinlose natin ng ang tawag dito, kinlose natin yung basta kapag ang income summary nasa kasi kinlose natin yung expense. So kaya magiging debit yung income summary kapag kinlose mo yung mga expense, di ba? Tapos pag kinlose mo ang mga income, magiging credit yung income summary. So kaya pag mas mataas yung credit ng income summary, meron tayong income. Pag mas mataas ang debit ng income summary, meron tayong loss. Di ba? And then yung income summary, yun yung i-close natin sa capital. Kaya ito ang ginamit natin sa capital. Yan. So hindi na natin na-discuss yun sa capital. Pero hapyawan natin dito. Yung mga ganyan. Kasi kapag sabihin natin nag-omit tayo, hindi natin na-record yung expense. So mag-overstate hindi natin na-record yung expense, di ba? So kaya mangyayari, yung expense account magiging understated. Kasi kulang eh. Kulang yung na-record mo. Dahil kulang yung na-record mo sa expense account, yung magiging income mo, net income mo, is overstated kasi kulang ka ng binawas sa income. So kaya overstated. Dahil overstated na yung income mo, overstated na rin yung capital mo. Yun ang direct relationship ng net income sa capital. So kaya, magkano ang amount natin dito? 2.8. Yun. So 2.8. And then, 2.8. Yan. So tapos na si si ano naman, si Rika. Next tayo dito sa number 5. Please unmute.
Hello po.
Hello. So, the furniture and fixtures are to be valued at 46,000. Magkano yung furniture and fixtures natin dito? 60,000. Tapos meron tayong accumulated na 6,000. I-copyan mo natin to dito para dito pabalik-balik. Yan. So, ito yung sa taas. Yung kanina sa taas. So, sabi dito, the furniture and fixtures are to be valued at 46,000. So, ano mangyayari? Mababawasan yung amount ni furniture and fixtures. Dapat maging 46,000. So, ano ang affected dyan? Is it furniture and fixtures o yung accumulated depreciation? Ano yung madadagdagan dyan, mababawasan?
Mababawasan po yung furnitures and fixtures. Tama po ba?
Okay, mababawasan ito. Pero yung ano mangyayari sa accumulated depreciation naman?
Hindi ko po sure.
Ano, sige.
Maliles pa din po.
Dito na. So, kapag ang ano natin, ang furnitures and fixtures sa adjustment, syempre mababawasan talaga ito. Pero dahil dito sabi, mabavalue na siya ng itong 60,000 magiging 46,000 dapat. So kaya itong accumulated depreciation dapat madadagdagan ng kung ilan yung dapat na mabawas dito para maging 46,000. So kaya di bale ano, di ba pag kinumpit natin to magiging 54,000. So para itong 60,000 maging 46,000, ilan ang mababawas natin diyan? Ipag minus mo itong dalawa. 60,000 minus 46,000. Ilan siya?
14,000 po.
Ayun, so kaya 14,000. Palitan natin to ng ito. Gawin natin itong book. And then, so see, palitan natin to ng sa grid. Yan. Na 46,000. Yan. So, i-less natin to. Yan. So, meron tayong accumulated depreciation na. Kaya ito yung magiging ano, yung adjusted na. Or sabihin natin increase na lang. And then, yan na lang. Yan na pala. So, kaya 14,000. Ito na yung magiging accumulated dapat natin. Ito na dapat yung accumulated depreciation natin, 14,000 instead of 16,000. So kaya ano nangyari, di ba? From 16,000 naging 14,000, ano nangyari? Di ba increase? So
Opo.
kaya, lagay natin ito yung dati. Yan. Akde. Na. sa book. So, 6,000. Yan. So, magkano yung increase natin? Increase in,
8,000 po.
yan. So, 8,000. Yan. So, yan yung amount na ilalagay natin sa entry natin for adjustment. Yan, ayusin lang natin. Yan. So, anong magiging entry natin dito ngayon? Dahil nag-increase yung accumulated depreciation. Ang accumulated depreciation, anong normal balance niya? Di ba sa credit siya? Kasi contra account siya. Okay, so anong entry natin dito?
Ano po? Yung Leopoldong Medina Capital po ba? Debit,
Okay.
tapos credit, accumulated depreciation.
Yun, so tama. Yan, tapos ito na yung amount na ilalagay natin. 8,000. So C, so D. Yan. So ayan yung entry natin. Pero kapag hindi ito ang gagamitin natin na account, ano dapat yung partner niya?
Depreciation expense ba?
Yun, tama. So yun ang magiging, yun ang expense account niya dito kung hindi yung capital account ang gagamitin natin. Okay, so next naman si Jennifer. Jennifer ba? Tapos na si Wency, tapos si Rika. Si Jennifer naman. Number 6. Pa-unmute na lang.
Ano po, office supplies, debit.
Okay, so office supplies.
Ano po, Leopoldo Medina Capital.
Yun, tama. Sige. Magkano ang amount natin?
4,000 pa.
4,000 na yan. Sige.
4,000.
Tama. So office supplies on hand that have been charged to expense in the past amounted to 4,000. This will be used by the partnership. So kaya bali parang ginamit to, parang nirecord siya dati ng through expense method. So kaya parang in-adjust nila kasi gagamitin pa nila dito sa partnership. Dahil in-adjust siya, imbes na expense yung office supplies, na-recognize natin as asset na. Kaya nag-record tayo ng office supplies na 4,000. And then binawasan natin dagdagan natin yung capital natin. Kasi parang nangyari yan, parang tinanggal natin yung expense dito. So kaya anong partner niya dito? Ano yung account dapat dito? Imbis na kapag hindi yung capital ang ginamit.
Expense po ba? Office
Anong
supply.
expense yan? Ayun, tama. So office supplies expense dapat yung nandito. Yan, so ganun yun. So kaya tapos na natin itong, ayan, tapos na to. Kaya naman gagawin natin is close the books. So close natin. Itong ginawa natin, ito yung tawag dito, ano ulit yun? Simple entry ba yun? Kalimutan ko na. So kasi isa-isa lang eh. Isa-isa lang tayo dito. Pero kapag gumamit tayo ng compound entry, ganito ang magiging itsura niya. Ayan o, parehas lang. Pero, ayan yung mga amount niya kanina, pare-parehas lang yan. Ito lang ang naiba. Total nyo lang kung saang side siya, kung sa debit or sa credit siya. Pwede nyo i-try na ipag-add to. Kunwari yan. Dahil yan, 6,000. So meron tayong debit na 6,000, add natin yan. Gawin natin positive yung mga nasa debit side. So 6,000 plus 2,000 plus minus 700. And then plus 2,800 plus 8,000 minus 4,000. So ilan yun? 14,100. Same ba? O yun, same lang din, oh. 14,100. Same lang. So kaya ito yung compound entry. Ito yung ginawa natin naman yung isa. Yung simple. So, yun. Ito yung number 1. Ito naman yung number 2. Ayan. So, i-close lang natin. I-close lang natin yung book. Kasi di ba, ililipat na natin sa ano, magta-transfer na tayo sa books of partnership. So, kaya i-close na natin yung book ni Leopoldo Medina. So, kaya yung i-close dito, ito na yung adjusted. Kung titignan nyo yung sa libro nyo, magkano yung amount ng cash is, tignan ko sa left. Ayun, so amount ng cash dun sa libro nyo, kung nakatingin kayo dun, is 60,000. So, walang nabago. Wala kasing adjustment dyan. Next naman yung notes receivable. Parehas lang din. Itong accounts receivable, parehas lang din. Itong interest receivable, ayun, ito yung wala. Kaya, dinagdag natin dito, 700. Itong merchandise inventory, ayun, nagbago. Di ba? Kanina 80,000. Ngayon, in-adjust natin na 74,000 kasi yun yung agreement. Di ba? So, kaya, office supplies, and then close natin kasi dinagdag natin kanina. Wala rin yan kanina sa financial position, pero dahil sa adjustment, meron na. Tapos yung furnitures and pictures, ganun pa rin. Ang mga in-adjust lang dito is yung itong accumulated depreciation na kanina. Magkano ang amount niya? 6,000. And then yung allowance for uncollectible accounts, naging 12,000 na kanina, is 10,000. Ganun-ganun lang. So ito rin, nag-recognize tayo kanina ng interest payable, 2A. O, tapos ito rin, accounts payable na 100,000. Parehas lang yan kanina, di ba? Ano na bago? So, kaya 100,000. Gawin din sa notes payable. O, so, na-entry na natin itong mga to. Yung mga yan. Kulang na lang yung capital. So, kaya paano yung gawin? Pag-add nyo muna to. Tapos, ipag-add nyo rin ito. Okay, so let's continue. So yung kanina sinabi ko, compute nyo muna to, i-total nyo, and then total nyo rin dito. Yung makuha yung total, i-minus nyo na lang. Tapos doon nyo ilagay sa side na mababa, which is dito sa debit side. Doon na lalabas yung capital na 299,900. Or pwede rin ang gawin nyo, kung nakakita nyo yung andun sa statement of financial position niya, dito, ayan. Diba, sorry, ano to, 314 to. 314, ayan. 314. Ito, kunin nyo lang, tapos ibawas nyo yung na-compute natin dito na 14,100. Kaya lalabas is 299,900. So yan, close nyo lang. And then yun, close na siya. Naka-close na. And then proceed na tayo sa books of partnership. So ayan. Ito yung magiging books of partnership. So kaya i-debit na natin, ipapasok na natin yung mga asset and liabilities ni Medina sa books ni partnership. Books of partnership. So kaya debit na cash na 60,000, same pa rin. Ganon din sa notes receivable. Ganon din sa accounts receivable. Pati sa interest receivable. Ganon lahat. So kaya yung mga naka-credit dito, i-debit nyo lang. Pero kung napapansin nyo itong furnitures and pictures, no? Bakit 46,000 na lang? Hindi na siya 60,000. Kasi ito na yung agreed. Ito yung agreed amount sa furnitures and fixtures. So kaya tatandaan nyo yung agreement nila. Agreement nila na maging 46,000 lang yung furniture and fixtures. Pero bakit yung sa accounts receivable Bakit hindi na siya in-adjust? Hindi na siya in-adjust na binawas yung allowance for uncollectible accounts na 12,000. Baba natin to para mas maayos. Ayan. Bakit di na siya in-adjust? Kasi uncollectible lang yan. Allowance for uncollectible accounts. Pero pwede pa rin niyang makolek kaya ganyan. Kaya ni-record pa rin siya. Yun. So, ito lang ang nabago, no? 46,000 tas na wala yung accumulated depreciation. Kung mapansin niyo, yun, no? 40,100, parehas lang yan dito. 40,128, 40,128. Tapos 12,000 na ako. Uncollectible accounts, 12,000 din. Tapos yung, ito nawala. Tapos ito, parehas lang din na 299,900. O ngayon, ito naman yung kay Giancarlo Capital. Kasi 'di ba wala siyang asset as liability kanina na ano kasi individual lang siya. Eh ang sabi dito sa information niya, Giancarlo offered to invest cash to get a capital credit equal to 1/2 of Leopoldo Medina's capital after giving effect to the adjustments below. So, ito na yung adjusted na capital ni Leopoldo Medina. Tapos sabi niya, equal to 1/2 lang daw yung i-invest ni Giancarlo. So, ang nangyari dyan, computation mo lang dyan is 299,900 times 50%. Ito na yung lalabas. Ayan, yan ang sagot natin. Lagyan na natin dito yung computation niya. So, 299,900 times 50%. Yan. Yan yung lalabas. 149,950. So, yun na. Hindi na sagutan natin. Sagutan natin to. Pati ito. Yan. Sagutan na natin yung 4. So, hanggang doon lang muna tayo. Kasi time na. Ito. Check nyo na lang itong sa financial statement niya. Pero balikan natin to sa next meeting. Lagay ko lang dito. Yan. Hindi pa tapos. Yan. Pabalikan natin to next meeting. Continue natin hanggang sa yan matapos dito. And then mag-ano tayo? Solving. Magpo-problem tayo doon. Mga entry. Okay ba? So, hanggang doon lang muna ngayon. Thank you sa pakikinig. Bago tayo umalis, mag-attendance muna tayo. Okay, Andrea, you may stop the recording.